Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm attempting at fixing my antenna that wouldn't extend or fold. It kind of feels jammed. So it could be that there is some dirt and muck built up in the antenna arms, or maybe something is wrong. So I have this rear panel open partially, right? And I have not removed it completely, but I was able to look through and see if there's anything wrong. And the first thing I found was this is, how do I show you? Let me grab this. This is, which is nothing but the power cable here. This was disconnected from the motor, and this plug, this harness that you see here, that harness was disconnected. It was just hanging loose. The moment I connected it, I could hear the motor when I turn on the power on the radio. So but it's making a rough noise because probably it's trying to push the antenna out and it's not coming out. So I'm guessing this is probably jammed, because I can see the motor running, it's vibrating, it's making noise, so I know that mechanism is working. So what I doubt is not working is either the mast inside the antenna is broken, or maybe this antenna, the length of those folded arms, they have some dirt built up and needs to be cleaned out. So as a first attempt, what I'm gonna do is, I don't think there's anything for me to do here inside and everything is clean. I'll just slide this back and I think we're going to be good here. I don't see any problems or concerns. And I'll start taking this out. I think we can use two screwdrivers on these two edges and just turn it and it'll come out, and then we'll start cleaning it up with WD-40 and see if that works. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so we got the antenna out of this hole, and you can see here it is. It doesn't have the mast cable, uh, the white color plastic cable with teeth on it, connected to it. So I'm guessing what happened was, one end of that plastic mast cable is supposed to be attached to the top here, which got detached, and so I'm guessing the whole plastic mast cable is wound up inside that housing of the motor. So I think we'll have to basically remove. It's not going to be a very easy job now, so we're gonna have to remove the motor assembly, open it up and remove the plastic and put the new one there. So as you can see, this gets stuck. It's not very smooth, right? And it has a lot of dirt built up on it. Probably that's how it got jammed and eventually broke. But anyways, we're gonna look at fixing it today. So let me show you the new one that I got from Amazon. This is the new one, and this is how it is. So if you just push this one up, it extends nicely. I'm doing it with one hand, but yeah. So this is what we're gonna install. It comes with a nice sheet of instructions. I think it was maybe $60 on Amazon approximately, and it has all the details of how to do it. I think there are a couple of YouTube videos too that you can look at, but I read the instructions and looked at those YouTube videos too, and they both match. So I think follow either of them and you'll be fine. All right, so for removing the, well, the good thing is I can use this old antenna as a pointer while I'm talking. So now for removing this, we're gonna remove two Phillips screws, one here and yeah, one here and one here too. And this is the ground cable that was connected here in this hole. I removed that screw. We're gonna remove those two, and then we are also going to disconnect this socket, right? Focus, come on. Yeah, we're gonna remove that socket, and we're also going to remove this antenna cable that connects to our stereo. And after that, we also have to remove this drain hose, disconnect this drain hose. Then this whole assembly should slowly come down. I think we have to be a little bit careful so that we don't drop this black rubbery piece somewhere inside the car. So we have to be really careful and make sure we don't, it stays with rest of the housing. All right, so I'm going to remove those two Phillips screws, disconnect that harness, and then remove uh, remove the cable, antenna cable, and also disconnect the water hose, drain hose, and then we will open up the antenna mast housing. Okay, all right, see you in a bit. All right, the assembly is out, everything is intact, nothing broke. And so now we get to the next part where we need to open up this black circle cover, remove that bolt and 4 screws, and then we are ready to look inside and see if the older mast cable is inside. If yes, just remove it and put it back together, and then attach it back where it was, and then we start putting in the uh, new antenna in place. And for that, I think we may need 2 people, so I may have to wait until my little one comes back from school and help me press the power button. I think he'll be excited to do that. All right, let me open up these screws and then I'll show you what I find inside. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, the bolt in the center is out. It has a washer and nut and the bolt that comes from the other side. So now we need to open this somehow. I don't know if I can do it with one hand and show you, so maybe I'll just use something to pry it open and we'll go from there. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so it was actually super easy to take it out. It was just sitting on top of it. I didn't even try. I didn't have to pry it with a screwdriver or anything. Like, it was just sitting on top. As you can see, there's some rubbery sealant that Mitsubishi uses. It's all around the edges. And this is the thing. This is where our things got messed up. And let me, sorry, I think I was pointing at the wrong spot. Okay, so this is what happened basically. Here's a ring that came out, okay, and this got detached from the top of the antenna, this point. See that? That's why it stopped working. And we can see how it works. So I'm gonna slowly pull it out, and there we go. Bad one is out, the good one is good to go. So the way of putting it back together is slightly different. So you feed in the mast cable, this one, from top, and it'll get inside here, and the motor will pull in and coil it in a nice spiral shape, and it'll get housed inside this. So this is where it goes, right? And we're gonna put it back together. I believe it was like this, and job is done. And you can see how much of dirt and grease and everything built up was here. But that's probably not the reason why it broke. It broke because it got detached. That top portion got detached from the top of the antenna. All right, so I'm gonna seal it back together and put all the nuts and bolts, go and fit it in the car, and then we are ready to put the new one inside. But I'll have to wait for my little one until he's back from school, which is like an hour from now. So I'll continue the video once he's back. Okay, the whole assembly is put together and looks good, ready to go back inside. One quick note, a quick observation: there's a nut that's inserted at the bottom of these screws, right, that you take out. This one doesn't have one, this one doesn't have one, this one doesn't have one, but if you look at the one here, it has a nut. You can see, how can I show you that? Maybe from here you can see that nut below that, and it also has one here on this side. You can see that that's the nut right in the middle of the frame. So they tend to fall out. It fell out for me, and suddenly I saw a nut on the ground and I was like, where did it fell from? And then I realized, so these two ones have a nut under them, and there's a housing which will hold a nut in place, and these two do not have nuts and they have open ends like this. Okay, so be careful. And let's go inside and start putting this together. So it's just slowly inserting this thing back up all the way in the right orientation. You can see it's not flat. This side is lower, the other side is higher. It's in the shape of the car, so it forms a tight seal. And we're gonna put it back just the way it was and tighten the screws, and we are ready for inserting the new antenna mast cable. All right, see you in a bit. All right, my little one is back from school, so he's going to help me press the power button. So I'm gonna insert the antenna is fully extended right now. Ethan, don't touch anything else, okay? All right, so I'm gonna insert the mast cable with the teeth facing towards the passenger side. Okay, and you'll feel suddenly some friction as if like you are putting it's hitting a rubber or something inside. And at that particular point, basically you got to turn the cable such that the teeth is facing the back of the car, and this is where you press the power button. Okay, Ethan, press the button.
Is it working? Is it working?
Yes, voila, it worked. Don't do anything, okay? Just stay there. Perfect. We're gonna so let's okay. So this worked. So okay, Ethan, can you press the button again? Press it again. All right, so far so good. Okay, Ethan, can you press again? Perfect. So everything worked, and with this fix, the antenna problem is done. And so far I have fixed the broken antenna problem, the wing problem, and the active exhaust switch problem on the VR4. So the next thing for me to target is my flashing ECS light. So I gotta check that. And the front aero, once in a while it gets stuck. So what's going on there? I'll pick up one of these two problems, probably the front aero first, because that seems or sounds a bit easier. We'll do that first, and maybe the easiest one, but one of these two things I'm gonna try to fix next. All right, see you in the next video.